Next, we're going to talk about certain matrices with special names, and then we're going to add and subtract matrices. Special matrices are given their own unique name: a row matrix, which is built of entirely one row; a column matrix, which has exactly one column; a square matrix, which has the exact same number of rows and columns; and a zero matrix, which has all the elements within the matrix, which are zeros. Two matrices that are equal to each other have to be exactly the same size, number of rows and dimensions, or dimensions, rows and columns, and make sure that each corresponding element is the same. And you can see 2 is the same as 2, and 4, 4, negative 1, 1, negative 1, and 3, 3. They're only equal if they match up identically. Next thing we're going to do is going to look at how to add and subtract matrices. I want to highlight the fact that you can only add or subtract if the matrices are exactly the same dimensions. So make sure they have the same dimensions. If they're not the same dimensions, you simply state cannot be added or subtracted. So in order to add or subtract, the idea is the same. You simply find the corresponding elements in each of the matrices and you add them together. If it was subtraction, you'd simply find the corresponding elements in the matrix and then you would subtract them. Now D corresponds to H, so I would subtract D minus H, and that's the strategy that we apply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add A and B together, and then I'm going to subtract A and B. So A plus B means I'm going to take the matrix 8, negative 5, 13, 3, and 14. I'm going to add it to the matrix, which is 12, 6, negative 7, negative 23. And I'm going to find the sum by simply adding the corresponding parts together. So 8 corresponds to that 12. They're in the same position, so that's a 20. A 3 corresponds to the negative 7, and that ends up giving us a negative 4 if we add them. A negative 5 and 6 gives us a 1. And then finally, we're left with our 14 and a negative 23, which is a negative 9. Now that's the sum. I also want to look at calculating the difference. So what does A minus B give us? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 8, 3, negative 5, 14. We're going to subtract our 12, negative 7, 6, negative 23. Again, they're the same dimensions, so they can be subtracted. So now it's going to be a matter of being able to take an 8 minus a 12. An 8 minus a 12 is negative 4. It's going to be a 3 minus a negative 7. So minus a negative is plus, so it's going to be 3 plus 7, or 10. This one is negative 5 minus 6, which is a negative 11. And the final one is 14 minus a negative 23, which means it's 14 plus 23. So 23, 33, 37. So we have a 37. So just be careful with your subtraction when you have double negatives, like here and here. That's actually adding. Here and here, we're going to add 23. And finally, we're going to try to subtract B minus C. Don't have to look too far because B is a 2 by 2 matrix and C is a 2 by 1 matrix. If they don't have the same dimensions, they cannot be subtracted, so therefore there's no work to be done.